up everyone, Zenlin was here with another video. Wow, I know it's been a minute since I've updated this channel. I have another channel which I use a lot for other things. I've decided to talk about a few things over here which may mirror the viewpoints of the other channel. I hope you all don't mind me venting, but there are a few things I need to get off my chest. And I'm like Angela Lee. I think that's what her name is, Angela Yee. I got my notes, so yeah. First off, I like to say rest in peace to Prince. I've always loved and appreciated his music and talents. And some of you may or may not know, I grew up a Michael Jackson fan. That's pretty much our household. Michael Jackson. However, I've always admired Prince as well. I think, to be honest with you, then again, I don't remember. See, I was born in the mid-'80s, so I pretty much, I can remember bits and pieces about the 80s. Unlike some people, I had, fucking people coming up to me talking about, I know, talking about they know about the 80s. I'm like, motherfucker, you were born in 94. You don't know shit about the goddamn 80s. I was in the 80s. Shit. Anyway, so we listened to Prince too. I think to my earliest memory, early 90s for me. I've always loved and appreciated, him just as much. But like I said, our household was just mostly Michael Jackson. He's always had fantastic music and a style that was eccentric to others, different. This is why I always loved the 80s. It was no black or white when it came to music. Everybody pretty much had good music back then. It's no disrespect to other decades, but the 80s was always my favorite, next to the 70s. I was telling my dad that I love that song he put out for the Batman soundtrack. I told him that I remember it from the scene in Batman where they had a parade. Correct me if I'm wrong. I haven't watched the movie in years, but that part was very reminiscent to me. I think Prince wanted to be the Joker. After seeing his music video for it, I'm like, why couldn't he? I think that would have been amazing. Let me talk about this. I see this every time a celebrity dies. People want to come out with why all of a sudden they're fans. So people can't care about these people when they die. People can't pay their respects because they may or may not own an album or a movie of a celebrity. We're human. It's natural for someone to be sad whenever someone passes. I hate when people put that guilt on people like that. I'm sure there are people out there that you wouldn't have thought would die, and when they do, it hurts. You take it pretty hard. I think recently I was getting dressed to go somewhere, and Prince's "I Want to Be Your Lover" came on. I was dancing, singing while I was getting dressed. Every time his music came on, I blasted. I may not own his music, but I appreciated him and his music. I was upset when Whitney died as well. I don't own any of her music. I think my dad, on a videotape, he had, on a videotape, if you don't know, it's a kind of a device called a VCR, and they had like a, videotape to go inside it, like a DVD or whatever. So, I think he had that video of her, I Need Somebody to Love Me. Yeah, that was my earliest memory of her. Was that long, beautiful brown hair she had. What was that? I still loved her and her music. I was listening to every 80s icon's recent work. My parents and older siblings can tell you that. Which brings me to another icon, African Bambaataa. Being in the house with older siblings, they exposed me to a lot of hip-hop back in the day. Whenever I would have flashbacks, it would be by a certain artist I never knew put the song out. Now, I know some folks are shocked by these allegations of child molestation, but when it comes to black folks, are you really surprised? Pedophilia has always been rampant in our community for decades. Hell, on my other blog, I've talked about a pedophile who lives right across the street from me. He's been hitting on me for years. I give him that look like I will fuck you up if you put your hands on me. Because recently he touched my fucking hair, and my dad was like sitting right there, and he didn't say nothing, and that really bothered me. But then again, it just goes with my lack of respect for him anyway. So one of these days, if he that guy try to push me, I'm gonna get really vocal with his ass. I don't care. I don't play this shit. That man's like in his fucking 70s, and he got a fucking history of pedophilia, rape, and incest. And it's just I don't want nothing to do with him. No. Anyway, that's all I attract is older men. Let me say this, and forgive me if this is too soon. If Prince walked up to me, all bets are off. I'm his. Yeah. Because Prince, if you looked at him, he looked better than most guys my age. And even younger than me. Because I had no idea he was in his late 50s. Because he took care of himself. He was, it's just, when he died, I was like, I don't get it. So, yeah, with these older guys, they come off pedophilic. Is that even a word? When they're around me, it's not like they like me. They've told me on several occasions that they see a little girl when they look at me. I'm like, no, fuck off, knobhead. I only like people my age. But yeah, pedophilia has always been in our community, as well as incest. Just like I mentioned earlier. It's something they don't like to talk about because they love to demonize white people for it. I will do whatever it takes to protect mine. And I've always had to warn single mothers about exposing their children to different types of men and the importance of marriage. I tell them not to have children by multiple men while living in the same proximity of other mothers who are having children by the same men. Those children will more than likely grow up and end up together. I know it's something they don't want to hear, but it's possible. I refuse to date black men from Louisiana based on that reason. I know who my siblings are. It's cousins I worry about. Oh my God. I'm ready to leave Louisiana. You just have no fucking idea. It's probably why a lot of these people down here are fucking crazy, because it's a lot of inbreeding going on. I've mentioned that on my other blogs. A lot of inbreeding going on. Subject for another video. No, I ain't gonna even talk about it. I got a blog for it. So anyway, to change topics for a second, I want to talk about influencer. I've been a part of this website for the past couple of weeks. It's one of the most difficult word-of-mouth websites I have ever been a part of. You have to jump through loops just to be able to review a few products. Now, they have been really strict with their boxes, and it seems like if you have thousands of followers and thousands of views on your blog, that's the only way you'll get a box. Me having a smaller following, that pretty much cuts me off. I have been blogging with Afrojuku for 5 years. To this day, I wish I would have moved to WordPress, where it seems like you'll get more views there than on Google itself. I have been trying to get another box for months now. My last one was in July of last year. I have been active on there. My low following hinders me from receiving anything. Sorry if I'm doing all kind of stuff. I'm sweating right now. I'm not going to put this on my followers because I appreciate every last one of them. It sucks that even after downloading the app, doing snaps, doing surveys, writing reviews, I still get nothing. This is why I prefer Buzz Agent, Smiley 360, and Pinch Me over Influencer. Even if I don't qualify for one thing, within a few days or so, they'll have something else for me. And I have been busting my ass with those websites ever since I've gotten my new smartphone. I will probably deactivate my account on Influencer in the next few months. As someone who gets paid to do surveys and test products, they are wasting my time. I don't care if those thousands of followers come at me for my opinion, but it is what it is. I ain't got no more talking me. I'm sorry. That shit had me laughing all weekend. I know my parents were like, what the hell is she laughing at? That whole Birdman thing. I was like, maybe I'm laughing harder because he's from Louisiana. You know, when it comes to them, I don't give a fuck about how they feel or anything else. I know I'm sounding normal. I'm not reading. When I do my videos, sometimes I gotta write and write things down because I'm not very good at speaking. That Birdman shit had me cracking the fuck up. He had a complete ass out of himself. I needed to laugh because of what's been going on lately. Um, now let me talk about some other sad news. I've learned about a young lady by the name of Amy dying after fighting in school. As you may or may not know, I was bullied in school from 5th grade to sophomore. Yeah. Sorry, credit for. I was mostly bullied by my ex-best friends, or along with others who didn't like me. All black. Even today, I feel uncomfortable being around all black people based on what happened to me in school, and even nowadays when they give me poor service at businesses or like when I go out somewhere, they too in your face for me, and there's somebody who got I got a social disorder. I don't like people in my face like that. Just back the fuck off. And they just that's how they are. And some of the white people like that too. Like get back. Jeez. So anyway, when they fight to kill, which is why I've always thought twice about fighting them and always kept an eye on their body languages, as many of them have all types of mental issues. And just like pedophiles, they put on a smile to hide it. I call those chicks dead witches because they act bold when it's another black person, but when it comes to whites, they cry or they're not quick to get angry with them. I've seen white folks act nasty towards black people, and they just accepted it as it is and won't confront them about it. If it's their children, they'll tell them that it's normal. But if it's a black person, they get violent and tell them to fucking fight, I don't understand it. I remember on my last job, I was around pretty much none but black teens, mostly black teenage girls, very disrespectful. And I was in my late 20s. I can imagine how their mothers are, because shit, they pass that shit down to their daughters and their sons too. Because my dad, he's an elderly man, he waved at a young guy. I don't even think the boy waved back. Anyway, so they don't speak, they're quick-tempered, and with the incident with this young lady, if there's a guy in the equation, then it's really on. It's not worth it. So I try to avoid them at all costs because that self-hate is so strong that when you point it out, it goes over their heads. You looked at me funny. You looked at my family member funny. You stepped on my shoes, and etc. Nothing physical or life-threatening, but they feel the need to want to check you for simple shit. And half of the time, they don't even give a damn about their children. All that education but no intelligence. I would not fight no one over anybody. It's not worth throwing your life or losing yours over it. With the quality of men today, I wouldn't fight a chick over him if his dick was made out of gold. I won't put this on poor black mothers because there are educated black mothers who are just as worse as they are. It's just that their kids are more passive aggressive when you hit a nerve, until you hit a nerve, and then they're the same as the rest. Trust me on that. I won't use this video to bash black people, but simply point out this blatant self-hate that they have. Looking at the young lady, light skin, long hair, that pretty much told me all I needed to know. I have a light skin girl myself, and she's already receiving shade from a darker family member, saying folks are color struck for loving her. Silly shit, It's not her fault she's light skinned. I think people like to be around her because she's a good kid. She don't do all that hooping and hollering. Every time you hold her, she goes hooping and hollering. And hitting people, throwing things, and like your granddaughter did me, threw stuff at my face. She doesn't act like that. So don't throw shade on an innocent child just because you can't keep yours in order. Anyway, boy, it's messed up how defensive black women get over biracial females wanting to claim them as black, but would threaten them, beat them up if they get a boyfriend. Hell, it's the same vice versa. I know that one of the killers was remorseful on social media. You gotta get these kids off of social media. People don't think about the consequences of their actions until it's too late. Sometimes they don't even care. I try to educate them on these things and have to remind them that before you try to check me for someone else's actions, you may want to get off your D's for these non-black men you got pimping your asses off for high positions at your jobs. I went there, but I won't go there explicitly today. It's all in my blogs. Hell, even other black men are saying the same shit, a la David Carroll. Lastly, let's talk about Peter Lang. Not him per se, but the fact that blacks have been talking about boycotting Asians. I have mixed feelings about this, as this should have been going on ever since Latasha Harlins was killed. Should have been boycotting them then. With me, I have been boycotting Asian businesses for years. Ones in particular are Vietnamese. Where I live is mostly Vietnamese people, and they are extremely racist. I have not had one positive experience with Vietnamese people. My last bad encounter with them was on my last job when I couldn't hear what he was saying. He yells at me in front of his daughter. Now, she's going to grow up and start treating other black women the same way he did me. He was lucky I was working and not on the streets where I would kick him right in his balls. That's why I've always liked the Japanese men over them and thought they were the better looking Asians, next in line to Chinese. Ever since I've been boycotting them, I've been getting quite a few dirty looks from them. I don't care. I don't shop at any of these Asian businesses in black communities. They set up shop with free government money they received from the whole Vietnam War thing. I think the other Asians get it as well. They purchase stock for places such as Sam's and other wholesale businesses, then sell them in their stores and hike up the prices, or they will sell old cheap goods. From what I've heard, they follow you around in stores, talk about you in their language. I think that happened to me. So yeah, it's not worth it. I always promote shopping online. Although they say boycott Asians, I can't boycott Japanese because they've never done anything to me and they're not leeching off the black community. They care about me as a customer compared to the rest. There are some good Chinese businesses as well. Try not to demonize all Asians just because, you know, few assholes out there. And I sometimes need to take my own advice when it comes to black and white people, but can't. Just avoid the ones working at these businesses in black communities and try not to eat at their restaurants. I read somewhere after a YouTuber said that he won't support them anymore. A Chinese girl said Asians will start doing that to blacks. I have Asian customers who had no problem paying the prices for my items. It was blacks who wanted me to either lower the costs or give away my stuff for free. Yeah, now I see why black businesses not today. I appreciate all of my customers, but I refuse to support racism or homophobia. They can cut their eyes at me all they want. You're not getting a dime from me. That's all I can say about that. Anyways, this concludes this video. Sorry if this video is a bit inappropriate, but there are some things that I had to get off my chest. Follow me on Afrojuku on Facebook. I have some loyal followers on there. Follow me on Twitter. I just wanted to let you all know that I do not add people on my personal Facebook account anymore. Excuse me. Because I suspect some of these people may be agents. It's something about them. So I don't really update there anymore unless it's to comment on someone's page or something like that. with social media, you can't be too careful with those who smile up in your face and then turn around and call you fake because they don't understand you. I've learned my lesson, which is why it's blank right now. My fan page is popping though. I have Instagram, but you'll have to leave a comment for me to add you back. I don't want to add random folks, and they end up unfollowing me like they do on Twitter when I don't update every fucking day. I like Instagram more as I get the likes that I want and etc. So feel free to follow me on there. Back to Prince. Rest in peace, my sweet Prince. Wish I had gotten the opportunity to see you live. And what hurts me more is the last time I seen you was at a Warriors game. Would have been epic if you and Michael would have blessed us with one-time special collaboration. Because I used to wonder for years, like, why they never worked together? I was like, Michael has pretty much worked with every artist, pretty much back then. And had he had lived, he probably would have worked more with some of the current artists. But I've always wondered why they never worked together. It was like one time, like back in the 90s, I used to always wonder why Snoop Dogg and Ice Cube never worked together. And you know, that was like years later that they did a song with was it Lil Jon, and they had Archbishop Pimp Magic Don Juan in the video too. Yeah. When I get my own place, I'm gonna have a special room strictly for the 80s. I won't give too much detail, but it's gonna be sugoi. I want to add in that we as black people, we need to support and cherish our legends while they're still here. I say this because they are more popular overseas than they are here. You can hear, if you don't believe me, ask some of those British people to name some of their favorite musicians, and they'll go all the way back to as early as the 40s on to the 80s at least, or sometime to the early 90s, and they'll tell you who inspired them or who they like. And they were listening to songs I've never heard of, artists I've never heard of, because they seem to appreciate our music more than we do. And people were talking about that what's that commercial, that car commercial where they had this song with the Australians, that song Walking on the Dream, how can I explain? I love that song, and that song came out in 2008. I'm like, what the fuck? What? Why America didn't promote this song here? I've never heard the song before. Basically, just the promotion here it sucks. And America need to be ashamed of themselves. All these songs that's out, and these songs out, it's garbage, and yet you can find better songs like somewhere else, and that's why I've always liked the Japanese music, something new, something different, something fresh, Yeah, but I just feel like we don't appreciate our musicians here. The black community don't. Let me say that, because hell, even 90s hip hop is flabby and sick to them. So how many times have you heard black folks refer to our icons as washed up? They need to sit down somewhere. Just total disrespectful. I remember being clowned in high school. I'm scratching my head because I got that I got a growth thing in there. I'm trying to grow my hair back since my I ain't gonna blame it on the bleach. I bleached my hair, but I ain't got no self-hate, no self-hate issues. I just it was just time to bleach it. I'm sorry, I'm gonna stutter. I got a lot of shit on my mind. Anyway, my hair was already, kind of falling out because it's damaged. Because I was telling my mom that last perm, I remember I had that last perm. Well, that bitch ate all my goddamn hair off, and I didn't know I didn't have no hair on the side until I cut it all off back in 2009. And next thing you know, I got bald spots and stuff. I'm like, what the fuck did she do to my goddamn head? I'll never perm my kids' hair. I need to change the channel. There's a lot of crappy ass shows coming on. Anyway, so yeah, I remember being clowned in high school for bringing Michael Jackson CDs to school to listen to instead of the shit they were listening to. Then one time, my nephew asked me what I wanted to listen to, and Juicy Fruit came on. Classic. My stepbrother's ugly ass girlfriend's son, not his. Go, yeah, she pinning her son on. It's not his kid. He don't even look like us. I would say why, but I don't wanna offend black people any more than I probably already hear with this video, but he just don't look like us. So anyway, he gonna sit there and do this. What the fuck is wrong with you? I wanted to smack him, ugly fucker. And before anybody say anything, he's a fucking teenager. Still, even when my parents listen to music, you know, from way, I'm talking about way back then. I don't do that. I don't be like this. I try to appreciate it. I don't know, but maybe that's just me. Anyway, I refuse to let these people go. My icons. I will continue to listen to their music whether anyone likes it or not. But yeah, check out the link in the description box about my high school year being a big Michael Jackson fan. And I'll talk about, you know, what I went through and stuff. It's an old entry, but I just wanted to bring it up because of the fact that anyway, thank you guys for watching, and take care.